Hello, everybody. My name is Shooter101, and yeah, this is more of a serious. Wow. Okay, I guess all of the videos have been serious recently. We're not really going to touch upon too much about what the truckers are doing. We're in a we're in an epidemic right now. Not of stupid people or anything like that. I did have a roast at some point in time for that, but no, we're in a problem with mental health, and that's for a number of reasons. A lot of people probably don't think I don't even care. So this is still COVID related though, because of the mandates. Lots of people have been in isolation for about 2 years now, and to the many people I've talked to that have said that's perfectly fine. People can live in isolation for 2 years. Tell that to the many people who are 1,000 times more depressed than they were 2 years ago, and to the many people that have killed themselves in the past 2 years due to being isolated for long periods of time. So that's today's topic. I know the past 2 years have been difficult on many of us, if not all of us. Some people may be perfectly fine with it because they're introverts, but even, I imagine if you're introverts, you probably have had some issues over the past 2 years too. It is a difficult time. And, of course, the difficulty depends on who you are, depending on your situation. I don't know much about you guys, but I want you to know, all of you to know, you are important. Now, I'm putting aside whatever you believe in, whether you believe that getting rid of mandates is the way to go or not, or whether or not you agree with me that what our government is doing is wrong. I don't care about that. What I care is that you are getting the help you need if you need it. You are a human being. Okay, and there's no weakness in asking for help. There's no weakness in admitting that you've had a rough 2 years. I've had a very rough 2 years. Not necessarily because I've been locked in my room. For the most part, I've enjoyed it. However, I've missed on a lot of friend activities. I missed 2 or 3 funerals. I wasn't able to see a lot of my family members who were in the hospital. And I've seen a fair amount of people kill themselves. It's been a rough 2 years to try to be the optimist that I usually try to be. It's been... Look, if it's been bad for me, I can only imagine how bad it can have been for some other people, because granted, the stuff I've been through, not easy. I haven't had any or at all time to mourn, really, or process what's happened in the past 2 years, which is very unhealthy, I know. I just don't have time, and I'd rather not, to be honest, process everything that has happened in the past 2 years until I'm able to go see my friends, until I'm able to see people that support me more often and to be with people that love and care about me and I love and care about them. I would rather process it when I can be with my friends physically than while I am alone at home. And I think that's decently smart, but also could cause some more problems down the line. A lot of it I have processed because there's only so long that you can go without processing some stuff, but still. But COVID has been rough on all of us. Whether we've lost loved ones to COVID, whether or not people have killed themselves near us, or people have died from cancer in our lives, COVID has been rough. The past 2 years have been rough on us, and I want to emphasize that you should go seek help if you need it. However, that doesn't always work. It doesn't always work for people. Flat out. And I don't know why everyone protests that as that's the only solution. Really, what I'm hoping for you more so, and what I'm hoping that you can try to find if you don't have it, is a support group. A group of people that will be there for you when you're having downtime, when you're having struggles. Because trust me, we all have our bad days. We all have our days where we're like, I really wish this would just end. And I'm not talking about mandates. There's a lot of people I know that wish this would all come to an end. And you know what? It's really hard sometimes. My best friend of, I'm not sure if you would count me as a best friend anymore. My friend of 9 years, 10 years now, oh god, 11 years, the past 2 years have been rough, okay? The past 11 years has gone through so many difficulties and challenges in the past 2 years. I have not been help at all. I don't know how to help. I've tried everything I can. I've even asked them what they need, and it's been if you are having issues, find your support group. That is the number one important thing. Okay, if you don't have a support group, then try to find one, please. And that support group can be found in many different ways. It can be family, it can be friends, it could be, like an actual support group that you can go to and have meetings with. And right now they'll probably be on Zoom, but still, finding some form of support group. Now, if you think it might work, go see a therapist. Or at least try to see a therapist, see if it works. And if you can't find a therapist in your area, then once again, support groups can go a long way as well. I think my number one message I think most people can agree, men, we've had it rough. And I'm saying specifically men in this case, because mental health for men is just bullshit. 75% of suicides are men, for those of you who don't know. And primarily, for those of you who also don't know, it's actually extremely difficult for men to go see therapists and actually find therapists. And then there's also that whole masculine thing of suck it up, buttercup, which has been drilled into men for the past forever. And now it's becoming okay for men to feel. So it's not a sign of weakness to show emotion, as much as you may have been told in the past by your granddad or your father or whoever that it is a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of weakness. Okay, we're all allowed to feel. Yeah, and to the many people who are judged because they are trying to find themselves, and this is more so LGBTQ related, stop listening to others. Please, just once. I know it's really hard to do. Okay, I know it's really hard to ignore people who are talking down about you. I know it's really difficult. Just ignore them, please. As much as you can, anyway. Ignore them. However, I've said it a couple of times, don't be a bitch, either. Don't, if someone messes up your pronouns, don't get mad at them if it's their first time. In fact, don't even get mad at them if it's their second or third time. Mistakes happen, okay? No one's perfect. You're not perfect. Personally, I don't care if people call me a he, she, them, they, whatever, because I know I'm a he, so they can say whatever they want, and I have a joke dating back to grade 5, which is, oh my god, so many years ago now, where my phone would keep autocorrecting my name to Janice. So, ultimately, I could care less. That is pretty much my thing. So yeah, I would always joke around that, Janice would come to school instead of me sometimes, and it was a real fun couple of days just to fuck with people. And that was before LGBTQ was a major thing, and honestly, even after it became a thing, I wouldn't have switched to Janice in a heartbeat. It was just a joke I had with my friends. But yeah, so I wouldn't really care because I know I'm a guy. Never have been uncertain about that. I never will be. I know I'm a guy. But to the many people who are still questioning their identity, either it be sexuality or gender, yeah, it can be rough. But don't let people's judgment get to you. I guess that could go for everyone. You know what? Yeah, that could technically go for everyone, but LGBTQ has it rough, okay? They do. There's a lot of suicides within the LGBTQ, specifically the trans community. And, look, I can't really imagine. I've been bullied most of my life anyway. So I had to kind of learn how to defend myself, not emotionally, but physically, because a lot of the bullying I went through was physical. And to some degree it was also like an emotional attack, which kind of didn't faze me. It was just like, whatever. So it hurt a little bit, but also at the same time, it's just like, words are words. Go fuck yourself. So it's important that if you're being judged by other people for either your identity things, especially for disabilities. Oh my god, I don't get people that make fun of others for disabilities. I can't comprehend. They were born with that disability. They didn't have a choice in that. Okay? Like, they have to live with it every single day of their lives. And they have to find ways to cope with it. And I doubt Fuzzy even cares, but if Fuzzy was, present in the situation, I would probably ask him how he feels about that, because, I mean, he probably would say he doesn't really care, ultimately, for him personally, but for other people, he'd probably care a lot. And it kind of goes the same for me. I don't really have any disabilities. I'm lucky. I'm gonna call it luck, because, yeah. Although, I mean, granted, so I know a lot of people with disabilities, I know a lot of people with multiple disabilities, and there are obviously ways to cope with them. There's also medicines and things like that. I'm not sure how I feel about a lot of, not necessarily the coping mechanisms, but well, I guess I have depression, but that's not really a disability, that's just a mental problem. Anyway, look, don't make fun of people because of a disability. They can't help it. They were born with that. So it's simple as that. Just don't make fun of it. It's a harsh thing to do, and if it makes you feel better about yourself, you should be also ashamed. Because, and like, if it's joking, okay? If it's joking around and the person knows you're joking, fine, whatever. But if you're straight up bullying a person because of a disability they have, that's not okay. Because there's a difference between joking and bullying. As much as the wokeists of the world disagree that jokes are just as bad as bullying, which I still don't understand, because if a person knows you're joking, like well, no, apparently you would, but you wouldn't go up to a comedian and tell them to stop their show because it's highly offensive and they're bullying everyone in the crowd. You would now, but you wouldn't before, because you knew it was jokes. They don't actually mean a lot of what they say up there. But now, of course, you would try to cancel comedians and things. Point being, just don't make fun of people, okay? Everyone has their hardships. You have your hardships that I don't know about. You may have lost a loved one recently. You might have lost a family member. I know a couple of people who've had to bury their parents and grandparents in the past couple of years. And sometimes even brother, sister, and even kids sometimes. So it's not easy for anyone. And I think the assumption that, because sometimes people have the assumption that people's lives are everything perfect when they look at these people, you don't know a damn thing about what's going on there. They could be hyper depressed. They could have disabilities. They could have anxieties of all sorts. They could. You just don't know. So their life could be 1,000 times harder than you think it is. That super smart kid in class is probably depressed to all hell. And that's coming from me talking, because I am one of those. I am one of those, whatever I want to be. Which is usually, especially right now, math class, by the way. Super easy. I thought it was going to be 1,000 times harder because there was some stuff they were talking about that I didn't even know about because it's grade 12 and I need to finish that stuff. Anyway, be kind to your fellow human beings who have no idea what they're going through. No idea. And because they are humans, every single one of them has their troubles, has their difficulties. And yes, I am putting this under the assumption that no one has changed their identity from human to a helicopter. Because I just, no, I will be willing to call you many things. A helicopter is not one of them. Unless you are literally a transformer, and in that case, prove it. Anyway. So, yeah. Stop judging others. Okay, if you're in a bad spot, I really do hope that you talk to someone you trust. If you don't have that support group, find someone that you would trust with that on your shoulders. And I would say I'm here for you, but I have a lot on my plate. I mean, ultimately, I could just put my Discord server in the description down below, and then if anyone wants to hang out or play video games of any kind, just hit me up. If I'm not busy, I'll see what we can do. You know what? Actually, that's what I will do. I'll put a link in the description down below to my Discord server. If any of you wants to, not even necessarily just talk about, if you do want to talk about your issues, let me know. We can do that in a private call. But if you just want to hang out and play some video games, I'll leave my server down below in the link in the description on Discord. I feel like, because I want to give something back to the community, I feel like I'm not doing enough. That's my flaw here. I feel like no matter what I am doing or trying to do, I feel like I'm not doing enough of it. Now, I'm not sure if that's a fair estimate. I don't know. But I just, personally, I do not feel like I'm doing enough for you guys. That's on me, though. So I feel like if I can do this, at least, maybe I can make up for that somehow. I know I'm not making money on this, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't expect payment. Flat out. I just want to help. It's been the past 2 years have been rough on all of us, I'm assuming. And it would be nice to get back. But first off, though, no politics. If we're going to game or if we're going to talk about the issues that you've gone through, stuff like that, video, just none. Okay? And, yeah, I have some friends that might be willing to talk to you if you're having issues with certain LGBTQ problems or any other things or any questions or concerns you might have about your identity. I can't help much with the identity struggle because, as I said, I know I'm a guy. I haven't struggled with that at all in my life, but I know many people that continue to struggle and are struggling who also are really good at giving advice about it or have struggled. I guess most of them aren't struggling anymore. Most of them have found their way through. But, you know, they've been through these struggles, and I know a couple of people that might be able to help. First off, I'd have to ask them. I kind of did this without any prep. That whole Discord idea was just a thing I had now. Well, we'll try to have some community nights or some community days where we can, you know, play video games together, you know, have some fun family games, stuff like that. Cards Against Humanity, maybe, depending on who's all there and who gets super offended or not. Once again, it's jokes, so that's why I have nothing against Cards Against Humanity. We could play Codenames and things. So there's lots of things we could do. Or Gartic Phone. A lot of us like playing Gartic Phone. So yeah, we could hang out, play video games like that. Get community nights kind of rolling again. We used to have like talking sessions, which used to be streamed. We used to have, they were part of the podcast that I used to run, but now it's more so just, no one uses my server. So I'm usually in my friend's server, but that's because nothing really goes on in my server and I have nothing major to announce. But, yeah, provided you guys made it through the 20 minutes to get here. Yeah, server link in the description down below if you want to join my server, and there we can play video games, hang out, whatever, as long as I'm not busy or doing something else, because I do have a lot of people that want to hang out and stuff like that already, so there's a couple of things there. With that being said, I have another hour challenge, like a build something in an hour challenge ready to go for Minecraft. I watched the time lapse again last night, and I was like, damn, that was actually kind of fun to do. Not fun to edit, but fun to do. So I have another thing. I want to build for it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a time lapse in first person perspective again, which I know it's hard to watch. Okay, it was really hard for me to watch, especially at 1:00 in the morning. But we'll see. I might come up with something different as well. It'll be interesting. So with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I will see you all tomorrow. I say that with a question mark because I don't really know. I think I'll see you tomorrow. Look, the videos that I make are kind of fucked. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow most likely. Even if it's past me from another video that I still haven't uploaded, you'll see me tomorrow. Cool. Hope you guys all enjoyed. See you all later. Goodbye.